You know, adventure touring is all the rage nowadays. You cannot pick up a motorcycle magazine without seeing a report from, I don't know, Tierra del Fuego or any number of far-flung places. The point is everybody wants to go somewhere, and they want to go somewhere it's exciting. But here's a point to remember about these far-flung places. There are people who live there who want to come here. And what I mean by that, often adventure is found in your own backyard. You don't have to travel tens of thousands of miles. You don't have to have a dog-eared passport. For instance, I live here in Northern California. I'm standing to my left is a Golden Gate Bridge. An hour up the road is some of the best wine country you'll find. If I wanted to, a couple of more hours up the road, I could ski. I could go down to my home in Santa Cruz. I could I could surf, go a little bit further. I'm on the Monterey Peninsula. All in a day, I can find an adventure. And that's the point. Don't dream about going to Tasmania or Australia or Antarctica. That'd be interesting on a motorcycle, wouldn't it? The adventure is in your backyard. And of course, we have a companion for you. And you knew there'd be a commercial in here. This is the LS2 MX453 Adventure helmet. It's one of the most popular helmets in our line because it combines attributes from the street and off-road to give you a very flexible, comfortable helmet that's ready for any adventure you have. First off, you're dealing with a complete First off, we have a tri-composite fiberglass shell, which is both DOT and ECE approved. You've got an extremely wide eye port here, which is excellent for visibility both on and particularly off-road. You never know what's coming at you. Ventilation is superb. You've got a switchable vent in front. You've got two switchable vents at the top, and then of course you've got an exhaust port at the rear. Now let's go back to this peak here. This initially was a source of some controversy for people because they were afraid at highway speed it would push your head around. You would get a lot of buffeting. Just is not the case, and the primary reason for that is a truly excellent venting. At highway speeds and above, and we won't go into that, but let's say at extra legal speeds, the helmet is rock steady. You have a fog fighter shield. It is both fog resistant, highly resistant to scratching, and optically correct. I've got tourists all around me. One's about to walk in back of me, get into the picture frame, but that's okay. He wants to take a picture of the bridge. All right, internally you've got a completely removable washable liner which has been treated to be both odor and bacteria resistant. D-ring. That's okay. Finding it's very difficult to get this out. We've got I got probably 25 bicycles here in front of me at the moment, and since I've been standing here for the last hour, I'm gathering a crowd. It's really boring, guys. I'm doing a commercial. That's much more interesting than me. I can't convince them of that. Anyway, that's it. The MX453 LS2 Adventure helmet. I'm sure I've missed telling you something here, but again, the point of this whole thing is for you to recognize that adventure begins in your own backyard. You do not have to have that dog-eared passport. Oh, a couple of other features I want to talk to you about. There have been some issues about the cheek pads on this helmet. The fact that riders have found them to be too tight. A couple of points about this cheek pad. First off, they're laser cut. They're not built up foam. They are cut specifically to fit your cheeks. They are a little bit stiff to start with, but they will break in. Trust me, stay with them and you'll end up with an extremely comfortable helmet. Now the second thing that, and this is relatively new, we have found that a lot of riders are using the MX453 not only on gravel roads, a bit of off-road, but they're using them in competition, dual sport rides, and in some cases even racing. In conditions like that, goggles are always preferable. And what we have found that there are many brand name goggles will fit our eye-port. Raise the shield, wear your goggles. So again, you've got a lot of flexibility. By the way, this goggle here happens to be a Scott, and let's see what model we have. Scott Recoil. And I understand also the Scott 89 fits. And that's not to imply that only Scott goggles fit. We found that numerous brands. Take your helmet, take your MX453 down to your motorcycle parts store, try on the goggles, and you'll find one that fits. This is Reg Cottrell with LS2 helmets, and a crowd of thousands. You won't believe the number of people that are in front of me. Hi guys.